Welcome to the project. This is a tomato. So is this. And so is that. And even this is a tomato. There are 10,000 different types of tomatoes in the whole world. And just think that all of these just came from one tomato a very long time ago. But how did it happen? Well, back in prehistoric times, there was one of these tomatoes. It's not one of these. It could be, but it could be. We don't know. Anyway, that one tomato genetically mutated as it went on through time. In order to understand more, you need to understand mutation. Mutation is what happens when a different trait, something gets into a different trait. So in all fruits, vegetables, and animals, they all have genes. Genes determine who you are. In those genes are little stuff called DNA. Those DNAs are like the workers of your genes. And in those genes, and the chromosomes can be found within your body. And the chromosomes are where the genes are stored. The chromosomes are kind of like the guidebooks to it. So all these tomatoes, including and myself and you and all of everything that's living, has chromosomes, genes, and DNA. While some of these mutate, although these tomatoes look very different, they're exactly the same species. Try to eat one today. Okay then, but how did all these tomatoes come to be? Well, like I said back in the old days, there was one tomato, but then it naturally selected into all these different types of tomatoes. Like for example, this tomato is big and red. This tomato is medium and yellow. This tomato is slightly smaller and orange, while this one's a little bit smaller and dark purple, or as it seems. All of these different tomatoes are different. But how can we tell? All these tomatoes change differently. They've all adapted to their environment. Some like grown in an oasis, and they got wilt resistant. And some of them even got crack resistant. But in all of these tomatoes were picked by man, like dogs were. That's called artificial selection. Like this tomato, as I said, is big and red, and it's firm. And so if people like tomatoes that are big, red, and firm, they pick this one. Other people like small tomatoes, like this one, and if they want those, they pick something like this. But the reason these people are picking them is because they have characteristics that they like the firmness, or the size, or the color, or the taste, or even travel. These tomatoes are different, but a lot of people can crossbreed them into other tomatoes and make new ones. And when two genes cross between each other to make a new one, that's called heredity. Thanks for watching. And as I mentioned, all of this was from just one tomato, but then that tomato passed down those traits through generations, and then those new tomatoes passed down their traits to other new tomatoes. And so on that happens. And that's called heredity. Thanks for watching the program. And give credits to Aaron Dempsey for the incredible music.